All right, we recording right now. So yeah.
That'll be some good, man. What up? 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 My peoples, mother peoples.
Yes.
Welcome back. It is us.
It is us. It is us.
Funny to Minutes Podcast. Lovely to have you all here again for another episode of Minutes Podcast.
That's it. That's it. And we guess what? We got a
What's
special
that?
guest.
Oh snap! Not only is she a Hall of Famer, she's the first lady to be on the Quality Minutes Podcast.
The first lady
Yay.
in a couple different ways.
Hey. Ladies and gentlemen, this beautiful female that we have here on the show.
Yes.
As you see, Quality Minutes. This lady, she's a hell of a mom. She's a committee woman for the UAW. She's a handful. She's my new fiance as well. Can we get a clap up for that? Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we have KemberLee Prince.
Yes.
Oh, hello.
What's good? What's good? We're so excited. We're so excited. I'm excited to not only have you on here, but again to have the first lady on here because we've been on here talking, all kind of shit and haven't had a single female perspective. So it's good to have you on here. It's good to have you on here. So I gotta ask. We start off every podcast like this. I gotta check in. How's everybody's week?
It's been well, ladies first. Ladies first.
Yeah,
I
ladies first.
had a bomb-ass week. I got engaged too. I had a wonderful Valentine's Day, and this is my last week at Mopar as a committee woman.
Wait a minute, you were engaged? Please tell us a little bit more about that, or we gonna just save that for a little longer segment.
I was surprised. He did everything that I really wanted.
Oh.
He knew my favorite song. And he knew I wanted my family around. So he had me blindfolded. We went through some trials and tribulations, but he got it done. And it was a
up.
I drink to that.
Give it up to Ronnie Romance. Give it up to Ronnie Romance.
Bang, bang. I'm talking about.
So I hope everything turned out all out the right way, and y'all enjoyed the evening.
It was pretty. Oh God, he's starting.
I'm sorry.
Your freeway voice early.
My bad.
It's been a very exciting weekend, man. Like I say, new engagement. I'm also leaving Mopar after 5 years. Moving on to greener pastures, man. Going down to this new Jefferson Mac plant.
Okay.
For new endeavors, and I think shit gonna be pretty cool, man. Shout out to all my Mopar people out there too, man. I know y'all down, man. We love y'all, man. I appreciate you for all the opportunity and everything, man. Y'all done a lot for me and my family, man. So clap it up one time for Mopar.
Okay, all right. Oh, I don't even have it queued up. My bad. For the Mopar family, let's give it up to the Mopar family. So I guess we'll get into that a little bit because we have the committee woman right here in our presence. But I can't move on without acknowledging the huge endeavor it is to get engaged, man. Like, let me tell you something, man. Like, for me, it's a huge deal for me as well. Cause I remember this guy from we talking about like 5th grade, little dude, you know what I'm saying? Like
chasing chicks,
chasing women, trials and tribulations over the years. Like, we was 10, 9 years old when we you and me met. So damn, niggas getting married, kids,
married, man, children, families uniting, and it's crazy, man. Like I was one, I ain't gonna lie, man. I've always, like, early in life, I was like, man, I never want to get married. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't see a lot of, I mean, I saw a lot of black love around, you know, but I never really seen only a few handful of successful marriages. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that kind of deterred me. And I think it deters a lot of young men as they're growing up because, you know, their pops not being around and things like that. I think that shit kind of like slowed up the process. But I'm here to tell a lot of people, shit, don't never say never, because you might find somebody who, you know, blends well.
So I gotta ask, because I mean, you just said a lot in that, you know, you saw some black love, but you know, there was not a lot of marriages and all this other. So what made you make that decision right now? Like, what was it about this wonderful young lady that made you say, all right, I want to go ahead and take this step?
Ooh, you swinging for
and
the
then
fences.
I'm gonna ask you, Kimberly, like, what made you say yes?
You're swinging for the fences,
Hey
Geraldo.
man, look, man, we here.
Well, I'm gonna have to say, being with her, I have never dealt with women with children before.
Okay.
And to see it from an angle, from an inside perspective, like, damn, it takes a whole lot to like manage this, manage that. And she was a committee person, and she did a lot, and still trying to keep the household together. So I think like that was one of the main keys. Then, like, we were friends first, so it's like, and we worked together, so it makes it like, you know, a lot of people that we would have against a lot of odds, man. And I feel like, you know what I'm saying, we succeeded in a way that, hey, you deserve this, motherfucker. You would be a fool to let this motherfucker slip away. So.
Oh, I like that. That's right. I dig that. I dig that. So, Kimberly, I know you was kind of this is something you might have wanted, but like, what made you say like, this is the man? He's the guy.
He's always been patient with me. I think, during this whole little ride, me trying to find myself, trying to become a better woman, a better mother, a better committee person. He's always been patient with me. And I just couldn't see myself with nobody else.
Ooh, yeah. See, this black love.
I ain't no motherfucking fuck, man. I ain't no motherfucking fuck, man.
Hey, man, listen. You could say that, man, but you know, on that day when you staring across, when you on that aisle and you staring, looking at them eyes.
Well, because I seen you balling at that wedding, boy. It was hot as shit.
It was that was the allergies, man. It was the seasonal allergies.
It was beautiful, man. It was beautiful. You
So
know?
since we're here, man, you know, we just passed Valentine's Day, and you know, you proposed on Valentine's Day. Like, kind of walk us through how you got there. And I want the fellas who listen to this right now, y'all got to take notes, because this brother really put it together. So from both perspectives, like what happened on that day?
Well, shout out to a few of my coworkers, a lot of her close friends of hers. I planned it out. I didn't do it actually on Valentine's Day. I did it on the 13th because I didn't want to share the day. I thought that was kind of cliche. So I was like, you know what, we'll do it on the day before. So I had a plan to I needed a dog ass scenery. Shout out to a few of my family members who work at the Marriott. Shout out to you, PB. I see you, my baby. So I set up a little spot down at the Renson. If you don't know, you're not from Michigan, Renson, that's the headquarters of EM. It's
fancy,
beautiful building. It overlooks Canada and Detroit River, and you know, with the snow and all that. I was hoping it for, you know, be kind of dark so you can see the lights and shit from Canada, but whatever. So I got a room booked, had one of her friends decorate the room. I started a group chat with her family members, let them know. I talked to her dad first, you know, I did all the traditional stuff, talked to the pops and the mom, and everybody was okay with it. So put together a text message thread, tell everybody to be down there at the Renson, you know, with COVID going on, so it was kind of crazy. So everybody had to be there early. So shout out to her family being on top. Shout out to them. Give me a clap for them, please.
Okay,
please.
All right, hold on. Yeah, you got. Please. All right, hold on. I'll be having it queued up. Yeah.
Keep them claps, please. Keep them claps queued, man.
Okay, I got them queued.
So
let me just say this before you continue, KemberLee. Let me just say this. He called me. He FaceTimed me one day, and he showed me the ring. And then I was like, "So what you gonna do with that?"
Sheesh.
No. He showed me. I immediately knew. I knew what he was gonna do with that, man. And I was. Listen. Shout out.
He been
Black
cheesing. He been cheesing ever since, man. Just ear to ear, bro. Just cheesing. Like, what's going on? So I get her down there.
Okay.
It was getting kind of hectic because I had a whole plan for that Saturday. So I'm telling her to be here at a certain time. She started doing errands and shit. So I'm like, what are you doing? So people start calling and texting me.
Being a mom and shit.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Dropping lawn chairs off or some shit. She did something random. I'm like, bro, we got to be down here. Because I was lying about these reservations that we had. It's like, man, we got to get down here. We got to get down here. She's like, don't worry, I'm going to be there on time. I'm going to be there on time. But no, KemberLee, you limit. So I get her down there. As I'm walking into the place, into the Prince Inn, I'm hearing voices, but I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm a blindfold her so she don't see nothing. I just hope everybody's not loud. So as walking through the building, I stumble across my mom and my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Now my mom's in the midst of cussing out a security guard for some reason.
Of course she is.
Shout out to Joyce.
Shout out to Joyce. We love you. Love you, mama.
So she's in the midst of cussing somebody out, but she can't get to where everybody's supposed to be.
So Joyce was cussing somebody out.
Joyce is on somebody's ass as always, So I get her to be quiet. Like, come on. So Joyce, my sister, my daughter, and my sister's boyfriend, they follow us into the elevators. Quiet. KemberLee's cussing like a goddamn sailor. What is going on? Shit. What the hell? Don't let me fall around here. Shit. She got on heels and stuff, so she talking crazy. And we got our luggage. So I'm like, just relax. I'm not gonna let you fall. Like, I'm not gonna let you go down. What the fuck, Greg? Like, she going nuts. So we get all 5 of us in this elevator. She doesn't even know that they're in the elevator with us. She's going in, just letting us have it.
So hold on. What was you thinking at this time, KemberLee? Like, you was cussing everybody out, apparently. But like, what was you thinking at this particular point?
At that point, I just didn't know what the hell was going on. But it was the fact that I was blindfolded, had to carry my luggage, and I had heels on. So at this point, I'm nervous because I don't know where I'm at. I don't want to trip. I don't want to fall. I don't want to bust my ass or none of that shit. So that's where my mind was at. Like, just get us to where we got to go, and I can take this blindfold off.
So was there a part of you during this time that said, like, is he gonna propose? Was there a little bit of you that was like, I think he gonna do this?
He had a lot of shit planned, and we can have dinner at the crib, light candles, and that I'm good with that. So he had a lot of stuff planned. So I'm like, what he got going on? But I left it alone. When my dad was calling him on the way to us to get to the hotel, that's when I'm like, okay. And then he was like, well, you know what? Fuck it. I got I got a dinner plan for you with the family. And at that point, it's like, but I'm gonna still be optimistic, and I'm gonna just let it go, and we just go with the flow.
Off the subject. Look, ladies and gentlemen, if you do decide to do this, please make sure you tell older family members, when you tell them not to call you, please don't call me. Bro, I'm in the car.
Everybody calling you?
Bro, they blowing me up. I texted the thread like, okay, I got her in the car. Please don't call. Straight text. As soon as I sent that message, bro, I got 6 straight calls. Yeah, this is her dad. Where we supposed to park at? Like,
asking clarifying questions.
Man,
that's why we got the chat, baby boy.
And it's like, I'm trying to like be nonchalant, trying to hang up real quick. Like, yeah. I told her that. Yeah, I told her that other day. Yeah. I didn't mean to hang up on you, pops. My bad. I didn't mean to hang up on you either. But I was like, you know what? Yeah, your dad just blew it. Okay, I got a family little dinner for you. It's supposed to be a surprise, but we can't hold on. Like, oh, don't be mad. I'm acting like I'm pissed off in the car too. Man, I just can't believe it. You know what I'm saying? Not knowing that whole time, the friend who set up the room is getting all the family members, together downstairs.
So you was doing some coordinating, bro. You was out here doing.
It was just like it all ran together, bro.
I
like,
see you orchestrating.
That shit just worked out, man. And like I said, I went all the way up to the room on like the 56th floor or some shit.
53rd.
On that, we're not from 53rd, but anywho, my family on there quiet as hell. We just drop her off in the room. I take them downstairs, get them all there. Get her friends, get ready to play this song. I'm going up and down these stairs. I swear to God, I got my steps in that day. Okay, when you talk about cardio workout, sheesh, bro.
What was the song, KemberLee? What was the song that he knew?
Kelly Price, He Proposed.
Okay. Ooh. Okay. Okay.
So I get her down there. As soon as we get off the escalator, it wasn't even supposed to have the music on, but they already had the music on. I took the blindfold off.
They don't care about none of your instructions.
Not at all. Not at all.
Okay.
Her brother, before I take the blindfold off, he, woo, who's that? Like, shout out to my dog, Rob, man. That's my G right there.
Okay.
But it was dope, man. Once he took off that blindfold, it was dope, man. When she said it.
So what was your feeling? Talk to us about, like, he got you down there, took the blindfold off. You saw him, and he was doing his thing. What was your feeling?
I was just shocked. I think once he took the blindfold off and I saw it was everybody that I really cared about there, I was like, oh. Then I just paid attention to what he was doing. He got on his knee and I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh shit. So I'm like, let me key in and listen to exactly what he just said to me. But I still said yes before he even can finish.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah. Well, that's and listen. Shout out to Black Love. Hashtag Black Love, Black weddings, Black couples, the whole nine, man. I appreciate that.
Fellas, I will tell you just one thing for sure. Like, when you get down on that knee, it's like the most petrifying ever. Like, nigga, I was shaking like a leaf, bro. And I ain't no motherfucking punk, man. I ain't no punk.
So I don't want to undercut your statement, but that will not be the most terrifying on this day. On that day. let me tell you something, KemberLee. I'm gonna just be honest with you, KemberLee. This man, he loves you, and he gonna show up for you on the day of the wedding, but he gonna be nervous. He's gonna be a wreck. Probably you too, but he is going to be a wreck. He probably gonna be in the back taking shots, rolling up. Like, I'm telling you, it is. Listen, I love CG. I knew I wanted to marry CG, but man, when I tell you, I was so nervous that morning. I was.
Eesh. And you know what? All you can ask, and all I was asking him, like, "Are you good, bro?"
That's it. That's all you ask. Are you good? Are you good? The last question you want to ask is, "You sure you want to do this?"
Oh yeah. I threw that out the window tonight.
Don't want to ask.
Yeah, don't give me no nothing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I seen the pressure of him on his our bachelor night chill mode on the beach. Like, we were just chilling. I guess it started to be surreal. Like, tomorrow is, right? So, nigga, I know what tomorrow is. Okay, I know what the hell tomorrow is. Bro.
Right.
I'm sorry, brother.
KemberLee. So let me ask you, where, in terms of when you want this to happen, when you all want to get married, the date, do you have any ideas yet, or y'all just kind of just conversing, discussing it right now? Like, so what is your hope?
My hope is maybe August or September of next year. I seen a venue that I liked. I seen a wedding planner that I liked also. We just have to figure out exactly the expenses and all that. I do want a good event, but I also don't want to kill myself either. So I picked out my colors. I'm just waiting on him to give me a set as far as who his groomsmen are going to be. Because I have a big family. So I need to know so that way I can match up and then we could go from there.
So what's the colors? I mean, I don't know if are you supposed to share or something, or I don't even know the I don't know the rules.
No, you're fine.
I don't know none of that, bro. I don't know any of that.
So I want to do navy blue, burgundy, champagne with like a hint of blush. So like if my daughter, both my daughters gonna be in it. So I want them, if they walk down the aisle, to be in blush.
Okay. Listen, I'm not gonna lie to you. All I heard was navy blue. That champagne and blush. I'm not really sure. I'm not exactly sure what colors that is.
I don't know what the hell that is either.
Blush is like a little pretty powder pink. Burgundy. Okay. So it's navy blue, burgundy, like with a hint of blush, because it'll only probably be like the girls just wearing a blush. And then like a champagne, it's like a dark ivory type.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Be pretty dope, man.
All right. So let me ask y'all, like, again, we just passed Valentine's Day. Y'all about to get married. I was married now. Like y'all just got me so excited. So tell me about your black love. Like what I think what is the strongest part that's kept y'all together, that's really maintained your relationship? You know what I'm saying? I heard friendship, I heard some other stuff. What are some of those things that kind of help you all to continue to move forward?
I think as our communication gets better, being able to have conversations, being able to be to the point where I'm able to sit him down, and me and him, not even if we agree, because a lot of times we might not, but to the point where he hears me and I hear him. Mm-hmm. To remain level-headed at the point to where I can actually hear and not try to just respond to what he says. I think if the communication is open.
Hold on, let me stop you right there. Hold on.
That shit. That shit.
You listen, I appreciate everything you said, but something that resonated with me, you was like, you be able to hear him without just having to respond to him. I think that's what happens a lot of times in relationships, is we just run a response. So shout out to you. #listen, y'all. #listen. Yes, all right, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh no, you're good. I just think that if communication is always open, I think shit'll flourish. Mm-hmm. And you just continue to work on yourself, because at the same sense of loving somebody else, you still have to work on yourself. So
is she?
Listen, let me tell you something. As somebody who's been married, how long? It'll be 11 years.
You better have that answer right.
Yeah, no, it'll be 11 years in June. It'll be 11 years in June. But like you just said a mouthful. But that's a part of it. It's that ability to just sit and listen to the other person. You know what I mean? Because when you sit in those back and forths and you're just trying to win, or you're trying to be the last one, with the last word, you'll never win. You'll never win, dog.
I know that just by being in a relationship. We're not even married. You just can't win.
You
fellas, you can't win.
No, you will never win an argument with a woman. Win.
Just say, okay.
I don't care how good your argument is. It doesn't matter.
I've came with some real great argument.
Research based.
Yeah, yeah.
And it didn't go anywhere. It didn't go my way. And I will call my brother Speedy, like, bro, it didn't go my way. And he'd be like, it's not supposed to. Yep.
It's not supposed to. Listen. I'm gonna let everybody who's listening right now on a little secret. This is for the fellas specifically.
Please tell them.
Listen, in order for you to maintain and have a lasting relationship with your woman, you have to learn the art of shutting the up. I'll say that one more time. I'll say that one more time.
Please tell
you have to master the art of shutting the up. You understand what I'm saying?
I'm only on the green belt.
I'm telling you. Listen, my dad been married about 30 plus years, man. He is a black belt in shutting the up. You understand what I'm saying? Fellas, all the young boys, we want to go back and forth. We got the pride, like she ain't gonna talk to me.
Pride, listen, just poking up like this.
Listen, man, you got to live to fight another day, man. I got 2K to play. I got some movies to watch. You got to learn to shut the up. You know what I mean?
Fellas, do you realize how much 2K you are losing without shutting the up? Do you realize how many quarters you could have played if you just would have shut up and shut up? On the duty match or something, just shut up. just shut up, man. And I'm learning that day by day to shut up.
Yeah. It'll take a while to master. I haven't mastered it, but let me tell you. I mean, that's for the fellas. I'm sorry, KemberLee. I had to interject for the fellas, but
no, you fine.
Listen, just
art.
that's it.
Okay.
Hashtag STFU. You know what I'm saying?
That's real spill, man.
So let me ask. Let me ask. So what are the things that you know that you want to make sure that you all continue to work on, even going before you get married? Like, all right, we want to make sure that we work on this going into this marriage, because I can promise you, like, marriage is going to offer a whole another set of challenges. So, like, before you get into it, what do you think you want to work with him on?
I answer or you heard?
Either one.
I'm gonna say compromise, kill assumption, therapy. You know,
kill assumption. I like that too. I like that.
Yeah, you can assume I made an asshole. I've been an asshole a lot of times off assumptions. Oh man, I lose shit and all type of shit, man. And she just be like, "It's right there, Greg. Just relax." I know it's you, and just and like you say, the art of shut the fuck up. As long as I can shut the fuck up, I feel like I'll be in a good spot.
That's cool. I hear you. What about you, KemberLee? What you think?
I think me just continue on with my therapy, making myself better, understanding what my weaknesses are, and being able to attack those and get those better for myself, because I think that projects towards everybody. And if I control myself and figure out what I need, what's best for me, then at that point it reciprocates to everybody else.
Hey, do y'all hear this, listeners? Listen, yeah, you all here talking that shit for real.
Talk that.
No, that's so true though. That's so true. Let me tell you something. Like most of the challenges like my wife and I have faced are things that we face individually, and it just kind of manifests like verbally and manifests in our actions or whatever. So, you know, you said a lot in terms of like dealing with yourself and working with yourself to improve yourself in order to be the best for the relationship. So that's cool. That's cool, man.
I got a question for you, Ryan.
What's up?
So, what type of advice would you give us? You know, since we started this journey off, what type of, other than shutting the hell up, of course, you know, what type of what type of advice would you just give us, like stuff to look out for, like, you know what I'm saying, that can be a nuisance inside of marriage, you know what I'm saying?
Oh man.
Because you also you married a woman who had a child.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what adjustments, like what type of adjustments did you have to take for that? You know what I'm saying? Because you not only married her, you married her children.
Sure.
So
sure.
He did it at the wedding, ladies and gentlemen. He sure did. They're witnessed it.
Yeah. Nah. That's a good question. I mean, it's a big question. So I'll try to answer it in different pieces. So I think, you know, one of the things that I had to learn how to be a father, like real quick, right? I had to learn how to be a father of a 4-year-old, 5-year-old. And I had to acknowledge that I'm not just marrying this woman, but I'm also marrying her son as well. Like, we are all becoming one as a family. So I had to, I just had to let myself know, because me personally, I'm kind of an introvert, right? Like, and I like kind of just doing things on my own. I'm a pretty independent person. So, you know, I had to sacrifice, you know, time with myself so that I can, you know, spend time with him when he was younger, and take him to camp and take him to school, and just remembering, like, it's all about sacrifice, right? If you go into any kind of relationship, whether it's with another child or, you know, with a woman or a man, you got to give up some things. You can't, if you got an ego, like, if you have your life is centered around just you, then you ain't gonna be able to make it happen. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to be thinking about everybody else that's a part of the equation, all the kids, you know, whoever. So that's what it was. I had to learn to sacrifice and be less selfish, because ultimately, like, marriage is a selfless act, right? Like, you're living for another person, you're considering a whole nother person. You know, as cliche as it might sound, like, just communication, man. Like, if you're not not just being able to communicate, but how you communicate is important. So you know, and how you argue and how you disagree and how you like, it's the how, not necessarily like the what, you know what I mean? Like we gonna disagree, like you gonna disagree no matter who you with, you're gonna disagree, but like how you disagree is what's important. And so being able to, just like you said, KemberLee, like just being able to like listen to the other person without just having a retort. And again, we still working on that. We haven't mastered that yet. No, I think those are the two, like sacrifice, communication. You said it, compromise, you know, making sure you make,
I'm not giving up my
who?
My 2K.
but you're right though. Like you gotta live your life. You gotta still, because you are a human being or you're a person before your couple, right? Before y'all got together, you are still KemberLee, you are still Greg. And so you got to still maintain who you are in your life outside of the relationship. You know what I'm saying? Still got to have your time on the 2K and hanging out with the fellas. KemberLee still got to have her girl time and spa time or whatever, you know, whatever women do together. I don't really know. But you still got to have that so that you can like kind of refill your bucket or recharge your, you know, your battery so you can be better for this other person. But I like that you got to, you know, get some counseling, like sit down and talk to somebody to kind of help coach you through that. But that's it, man. You know,
I mean, you dropping some bombs, man. You drop one of the clues bombs for you just
okay, all right, because we'll do bombs here. Let's see, we don't do bombs. What do we do? Damn, I don't see,
Greg.
Okay, boom. Yes, we let off rockets.
Yeah,
we take off with rockets.
Yeah, it was dope. Yeah. I appreciate the love and all the support everybody, you know what I'm saying, that's been sending us the prayers and all that stuff. I appreciate y'all, man. Real talk.
Yeah. Real talk. But also we here because, you know, not only is KemberLee connected to us and what we're doing, but also like, you know, we want to shout her out because I would say she's somebody who exemplifies Hard Work Hall of Fame. She's somebody who exemplifies, like, you know, what it is that we're doing here. So, Greg, you want to kind of talk about, like, another reason why KemberLee is here?
Another reason why. She knows how to... I appreciate a single mother. You know what I'm saying? This episode is for the single moms out there busting their ass, man. Y'all you definitely deserve AIDS. You know what I'm saying? You deserve a Hard Work Hall of Fame induction. You know what I'm saying? Because it's tough. She got twins, ladies and gentlemen. Off the first op, she had twins. Jesus Christ.
You're right.
Holy fucking moly. So with that being said, with that and dealing with the union and stuff like that shit, I couldn't even imagine, like, you know what I'm saying? Because I know how children and their parents and, you know, and especially moms, how they feel and cling to their children, want to be there as much as they want to. But with her job, she had to sacrifice so much, you know what I'm saying? And still kept the whole ball rolling. So that's why she's here, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I want to ask you, KemberLee, how was it for you to juggle, like, being a single mom and dealing with the union?
Well, wait, real quick, before you answer that question, what do you do? Like, what do you do, and what has been your role? What does that mean to be the committee woman? I know Greg mentioned that.
My role is I am the leader of my shift. If any union employee has an issue about anything, if it violates the contract, at that point, the employee steps out and has a conversation with me. With my role being a committee woman on second shift, we have an ops manager that is running the shift, and me and him are equal parties. So it comes to the point where I just have to sit down and we have to negotiate certain things. If people have absences, whatever the case may be, just sit down and figure out what we can do to actually operate and run a business as should be, or figure out what our next goal is to make sure that the parts are getting out, trying to fix absenteeism, and just trying to keep the morale up on the shift. So that is what my role is.
Is being a boss.
Big boss. Big
pretty much.
Yeah. So back to that question, like, what was it like balancing being a mother, single mother, and doing all that?
I had to make a sacrifice, because I think that when I wanted to run for this position, I knew I was going to take a sacrifice and it was going to hit home, but it was something that I wanted to do. So I made that sacrifice. If that meant going online classes, I completed the Wayne State program. It usually take about 2 years. I probably finished it in like a year and a half.
Okay.
Every class,
Hashtag Black excellence.
every class that I could take, I took because I had that passion, that burning fire. Like, this is what I want to do. I got my granddad, he was in the union. My mom was a union steward, and I just saw what it was to help people. And I was helping people, you know, save jobs, whatever the case may be. So, but it took sacrifice.
And we appreciate the sacrifice because that's tough. Like, you know, I couldn't see myself doing that, man. To have to deal with other people's fucked up reasons on why they don't want to keep their own job. It was basically a lawyer, bro. Like, you had a defense lawyer for the most part. Like,
yeah,
they fucking up. But she had to find a way to keep their ass a job. That's tough, man. Because you can't make a person want to work, man. For all you lazy motherfuckers out there in the world, let me tell you.
Talk to him.
My man's.
You gonna take your class.
Ain't nobody can keep your job but you. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to put no other. You can't make nobody else responsible. If you don't want to do the work, then that's on you, bro. But KemberLee saved a lot of y'all asses. We couldn't say it before, but she saved a lot of asses.
So so let me ask you, because I work in a field where I kind of have to manage and supervise adults. Like, what is the hardest part about dealing with like adults and help and like working through conflicts and stuff in the job setting?
A lot of times they lack common sense in some type of way. I think a lot of times they don't take accountability, and that's what the issue is, because they can see what everybody else around them is doing to them, but they can't see what they're doing to put themselves in that predicament. And that's the hardest part, because you have to fight somebody on seeing what they actually do opposed to what they think they do.
And y'all wonder why. So, okay, I got a question as well. I wanted to ask you. You being the very first committee woman in Romulus, how did that feel?
Wait. You was the very first committee woman?
Yeah. Well, at Romulus, when they opened the building, I think we were there for like 2 months, and then I ran for the position, got the position, and have been in the position for 3 years, and stepped down yesterday.
So that means you are a historical figure. You're the first Black woman committee woman. We gotta clap that up. Wait a minute.
Not just that. Our building was in control of 60% of the network of Mopar. So 60% of the workload of the whole company in charge of. You know, put that in perspective. Yeah, she was the boss.
We taking off.
Big boss. He's a boss, a fucking boss.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. So what's the next move now? Like, I mean, that's a pretty heavy responsibility and a pretty solid position. So what's the next move for you?
My next move is to kind of focus on my family right now. With me going to therapy and seeing everything, I don't know nothing outside of being a mom for the most part. So I have to learn myself and get myself together. And I think I sacrificed for long enough when it came to my family and my children. So it might be day down the line. I might jump back into the role because we're going to a new plant and it's new opportunity. But I think right now I just need to focus on bettering myself, my children, and my household, and my family. So
that's what's up. Well, sure. Let me ask then. So what? I don't forgot the question I was about to ask. No, that's what I was going to ask. So you had mentioned like therapy a couple times. about like, you know, you working through some things. So what has been like an aha moment for you in trying to work through or work on yourself or whatever in going through therapy?
Just actually being able to see me. Like, I can see me, but I really can't see me. So I have somebody that is non-judgmental and is able to guide me through to actually see who I really am. I think my hardest part with it is a lot of things have been closed and doors that I have to open up, because during this time being a single parent and working, I've had to put a lot of stuff about myself on the back burner to make sure I get the job done when it comes to my children. And that was a sacrifice that I made. But at this point, I have to figure it out, because I don't want going forward in my relationship with my children, relationship with other people. I don't want that to self-destruct. So now it's just going through, opening up these doors every week and dealing with repetitive speaking on it, writing it down, whatever the case may be, so that way I can leave those there and continue on. And just being able to, okay, when I have an argument or a situation comes up and I'm frustrated, how do I go about it? Because me, I'm 0 to 100, and it shouldn't always be like that, you know.
I know. I'll be hearing you on the 2K microphone.
Real fucking quick, nigga.
Like that. But I've just been in a better space. I end up helping out an employee, you know, and I had to sit down for like 30 days. So during that time, I had to think about a lot, you know, and what's best for me and what's best for my family. And I loved my job and my role, but what's beneficial for me.
Greg, let me ask this question. This is for Greg and KemberLee. Like, so Greg, you had a child come into this relationship. KemberLee, you had twins come into this relationship. So like, talk to the folks. Talk to me about like what that was like, trying to combine the families and create like this, you know, this unique family.
I think it was God's plan, honestly, because when we were first dating and stuff, her daughter's birthday came around, and it took a while because, you know, I didn't instantly like introduce like that. You know, it was you know what I'm saying? We were like, okay, I rock with you, you rock with me. These little motherfuckers got to rock with each other too. So, you know, and it was, you know, it was a big part of everything. You know what I'm saying? Because I know if my daughter wasn't comfortable or her children weren't comfortable, we probably wouldn't be here talking right now.
Yeah.
So they came to my daughter's birthday party, and they had a good time, and then they started coming over my house, you know, with her and watching movies together, and it was just a bond, like, you know what I'm saying? They took each other on each other's wing, you know, and it's big. It's like I say, it's God's plan, bro. It was a blessing, man, because my daughter loves them. They called each other brother and sister before any of them proposal or anything we talked about. They ride for each other, they fight for each other, and it was just it's been dope, man. Her kids are 6 years older than me.
No.
How old are they? Wait a minute. How old are they?
They must be 12. They're
3 years apart. 3, 4. But they act like they 16, 18. So
yeah.
But they've shown my daughter a lot, like, you know, as far as like social, because my daughter's the only child. So seeing how they interact and how they bring her in, it's been helping her socially. So, you know, it's been remarkable, man. It's been dope.
Yeah. Have there been any challenges like with that whole situation?
Yeah. I say because, you know, we have our own routine. Kim and her kids have their own routine, you know what I'm saying? And to bring both routines together, it's kind of tough, you know what I'm saying? But the kids have to take sacrifices as well. And I think they've done that in the perfect kind of way.
What you mean by that?
Like, they had to give up on certain things, you know. They were meant to, like, you know, it's just like, it's hard to explain. Can you help me out here, KemberLee?
No, I think I might be able to piggyback off what you're saying, but I don't think it's so much the children are making sacrifices. I think it's just us. I think it's just the fact that we are able. No, both of our parenting styles are different. So we do sometimes come to head because sometimes I feel like even when it comes to his daughter, you a little too much, you know, and I step in being the mommy that I am. And I'm not soft. I just, you don't always have to beat ass to get the point across. Forget you. So I think sometimes it's hard for that because us being as parents, him being a single father coming into this relationship, me being a single mother, this is how I want things done in my household. So us coming together, I think that's where we bump heads sometimes because it's not his household or mine, it's our household, and we have to compromise on certain things when it comes to our parenting. It shouldn't be always I'm getting defensive or whatever the case may be. Actually seeing what's going on because my kids lack, you know, when it comes to certain areas, it's having somebody around 24/7, a male figure around. So it's about me and him compromising on what we think is best for our children.
Days with like take us through your mind state of like the whole just you know raising two kids by yourself. You know, I ain't gonna say completely by yourself, but you know, just look through your journey, like you know what I'm saying? Because that's remarkable to me. My mom was a single parent, and me and my sister, we were 4 years apart. And to deal with both our attitudes and still have to go to work every day and come home, that's remarkable to me. Can I get a clap up for them single mamas out there?
Definitely want to give it up for the single moms out here, man.
For sure.
It's been hard. It's been a challenge because I had to give up a whole lot. And all I know is how to be a mom. And I think when we have children early out of wedlock and certain things, we take it out of the divine order type. So I think, you know, I had to make a lot of sacrifices. Like I'm sitting on 85 credits to get my bachelor's degree in criminal justice, but I had to make a choice, you know, I had to make a choice to be a mom. So it's a lot of things that I had to give up to be a mom. So now I look back like I could have did stuff certain different and think about myself, but I thought I was doing the right thing by just being a mom, you know? So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's good. That's good that I guess both of y'all have learned that lesson because that's what you're going to have to end up doing with each other, like as husband and wife at some point. You know what I mean? Like, I know that, you know, CG, my wife, has been like, all right, I want to pursue a degree here, and like now I gotta, you know, take up this load because, you know, she's spending her time doing, you know, studying and doing assignments and things like that. So I gotta take up the weight here, or I decide like I want to go do this, and she has to take up that, you know, the responsibility or pick up the slack in other areas. So I mean, it's an important lesson to learn for sure. So shout out to y'all, man, for even, you know, speaking on that.
You see, you the man. You know what I'm talking about?
You say what?
So you the man, Vito. You the man, man. I do gotta a little off the subject, man. I gotta apologize. To Houston. I made a post the other day like, "Hey, Houston, now you see how Detroit feel when the blackout happened." It was too soon. I'm sorry.
Way too soon because they down there struggling right now.
I know, bro.
They
I'm sorry because I didn't really know all the details because I didn't, you know. So I apologize, Houston. You know, I pray for y'all, man. I know it's a lot of shit going on, man. Prayers to Houston right now, B.
But you know what? That speaks to a problem in infrastructure, because like if a snowstorm is the only thing to shut down an entire city, like we got to start revisiting some of the systems and infrastructures that we have in place, man. Like that's crazy. That
Hurricane Katrina should have showed us that a long time ago.
It's just the fact that the government does not want to put money back because they knew if you had a certain stage of a storm that comes through, those levees were not going to work. But if they would have put more money into the system instead of trying to save the money, then at that point, certain things wouldn't happen. Like, for instance, Texas is the only state in the United States that has privatized their electric system. So now, now you have these private companies controlling something that is supposed to be a necessity, that we need that, you know? They're over down there to where every other like every other couple hours, they turn that power off for like an hour or so. Serve what's going on. Like that should not be privatized. That's something that we need as humans. So it just does, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, you get into it.
Yeah, let's go.
No, you get into it. No, you're right though. You're right though. We talked about this in terms of like the prisons, you know, and privatizing the prison system and privatizing prisons, privatizing things like electricity. I mean, that is problematic because then, you know, like people have an incentive for people to pay higher rates or even to, you know what I'm saying? Like it becomes an issue, you know, when people can benefit from people just using general necessities, you know what I'm saying? So it's crazy down there, man. So our prayers out to those in Houston, man. I got some folks down there. Yeah, I got some folks down like in San Antonio area who've been, you know, somewhat impacted or whatever. So it's impacted more than just, you know, the folks in Houston. So our prayers out for those folks.
Prayers down there to the people down south who are not ready for this snow. But it's like, only reason I did make that comment is because in 2000 and what was the blackout? Or
that was 2003, I think. 2003 or 2004, one of those years.
We didn't have lights, as heat. It was the hottest summer of ever. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was tough.
Yeah, I think
it was tough. And it happened to us. I mean, it wasn't really too much government assistance, nothing like that. People, it was like savage land in this boy for it. Them 3 days, if I'm not mistaken. It was a savage land.
It was crazy. They were selling bottles of water for like $10.
$5 to $10 easy, bro.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah.
So and yet we had no food, none of that shit. It was tough. It was tough, man.
I know.
But I do pray for them though. But Houston has the end of 2020 and 21. It's been a lot of fucked up shit going on.
It's been wild. So let me just say this real quick. Ted Cruz, you're a real piece of, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if you saw Ted Cruz
on the plane.
Right? Yeah, he went to Cancun. Cancun.
You're a diabolical son of a bitch. You understand?
Why the people in your state are freezing to death?
I can't say it's worse than Snyder. Worse than Snyder though. Snyder knew he was poisoning people. Still ain't giving a shit.
That's what I'm man. Listen. These dudes do not care, man. They do not care at all. But crazy. It speaks to another issue. Like, why is the country and states never prepared for these type of situations? You would think after all the natural disasters that have occurred over the course of history, like we would have a plan to respond for things like this. And I'm still seeing like videos of people in lines out in the snow getting water poured in their bottles, you know what I'm saying? So they can give water to their family. Like, it's crazy.
It's insane, man. It's really insane. Like you say, natural disasters are exactly what they're called, natural disasters. If you see certain things in history already happen, you have to prepare yourself. Like, you have to. Houston and Texas is a flourishing state, man. You know, it's a lot of money down in Texas. There's no reason for this kind of, you know what I'm saying? Like, the infrastructure, the homes and all that. It's no excuse, man. We got to do better, America. Come on, man.
We got to do much better. We got to do
a lot better, man.
But you know, that's where we are. Can I share something real quick? Let me.
Okay,
so I don't know if y'all saw that Donald Trump was impeached for the second time. Right? He was impeached for the second time. He was also acquitted for the second time. You know, so he was not found guilty of any wrongdoing around that whole January 6th incident. And so, you know, we watched that happen. You know, we watched Donald Trump incite these crazy riots and stuff at the Capitol building. The thugs and criminals break into a Capitol building. Vandals breaking and entering. You know, we saw all the other things that the problematic things that he said during his election and throughout the time, you know, talking about Mexicans and building walls, the racist things that he said over time. And Black people, we just been sitting here looking at him like, who in the world could support somebody like this? But little did we know, all it took for us to get over that was Tom Brady winning 7 Super Bowl championships.
I knew this was coming.
If that's all we needed.
Now wait.
Black people
See,
was like, I guess it ain't so bad.
No, we're not gonna do that. No, that's what we're not gonna do. Look,
Go blue.
Go blue first and foremost.
Man.
See, look, sports and politics should never go together.
Listen.
You know,
okay, go ahead. I'm gonna let you finish.
See, my thing is this too. Anybody's political beliefs, that's on you. That's a subject I don't touch. I don't touch it. I don't skate. There's nothing I can do. Politics, religion, I leave the fuck alone. Now, do I feel certain ways about how people feel on their political shit? Yes. But if you just made me a lot of money off the Super Bowl, hey, I don't give a fuck who you vote for. I don't give a fuck. Thank you for winning me a lot of money, Tom Brady.
I feel that.
Blue. Shit, niggas ain't like Jordan. You got 6 of them. He opened up prisons.
Yeah, listen. All right, I will say this. Man. Because I hear that all the time. Like, you know, people separate politics and sports all the time. But they've been together. They're always together, right? You know what I'm saying? Like like sports has always had a political element to it. You know, even when you go back to Jackie Robinson breaking the color barrier in baseball, or Colin Kaepernick, or you know, you just constantly see instances where, you know, people's beliefs about, you know, social issues, and it always happens, right? You know, because we can't separate people's beliefs from the athlete, right? Like LeBron James is a great basketball player, but he still believes what he believes, and so we can't help but to get that in sports. So now I understand what you're saying, man. It could be kind of dangerous when you mix the two, but the two have always been mixed together.
Always been, especially the NFL.
For sure. Especially the NFL. And
now to further your point, I ain't gonna say further your point, but I am going to take a couple notches off of Tom Brady, because I don't like that shit at all. I can't say I'll be in the room, but yo, my man Tom Brady, oh shit, no, I still a fire on his ass. But 7 Super Bowls, he's won me a lot of money, all those 7 Super Bowls.
Listen, definitely shout out. Listen, I will never argue that Tom Brady is one of, if not the greatest quarterback to play in the NFL. You know, it's up for argument. I will never argue that point. But if your political and your social beliefs align with the oppression of my people, of Black people, you know what I'm saying? For me, it's bigger than sports. You know what I'm saying? If shout out to your athletic ability, but if you got a MAGA hat in your locker, like then I gotta be like, all right.
I'm with you.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm with you. But it's like also on his end, like he might have a magnet hat in his locker, but like African American teammates he have, they speak so highly of him. You know what I'm saying? They have great relationships.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Even though he might be the racist motherfucker on the block.
Right.
You know, but when he's in front of Black people, he treats them with the respect and dignity that they deserve. So he might be an undercover ass racist motherfucker. I don't like him either.
You gotta show him respect though, because if you blocking me on the line, that means you gonna be my
class.
Exactly. If you don't show me no respect.
Yeah. So my response is that is how many white folks like have you worked with at your job who'll be like, oh, Greg and KemberLee, they're just so nice. I love working with them, but they've never invited you to their house for dinner.
They got a lot of those.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so I think again, I think that yes, based on his profession and what he does professionally, you got to maintain this professional relationship, because you need homeboy to catch the pass. Like you need Mike Evans to catch your pass, right?
True.
You know, but at the same time, like, you know, is Mike Evans somebody that you would introduce your family to, or, you know, is this somebody that you would have over your house? You know, that's always my question. Again, I don't know that to be Tom Brady's situation, but you know, that's what I be thinking about.
I did hear a report though. When he got to Tampa Bay, he allowed Antonio Brown, niggas in America, to stay with him. Maybe he might be a Trump nigga too, though. I don't know. I don't know. But it is what it is, man.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah. So, it's crazy. So, KemberLee, what you looking forward to in 2021? We got a new president. It's a whole new year. We got vaccines out. Like, what are you looking forward to in 2021?
Are you taking that vaccine?
Ooh,
No.
good question.
No, but I am looking for growth in every relationship that I have. And if it doesn't need to be there, it won't be there coming into 22.
Talk that. Yes,
indeed. Yes.
So,
indeed.
you know that schools are trying to do like a hybrid program of that nature.
Say that again.
I said schools are trying to do like hybrid and trying to get kids back in school up here up north or in the Midwest. KemberLee. So if they decide to offer your children vaccine, allow them to get it?
No, that means I would have to make another sacrifice and figure it out because they'd be back at home. No, we don't do the vaccine.
My mom got the vaccine yesterday. So far so good. Clap up to that.
Yes.
So far so good.
Yeah,
you know,
definitely.
I'm afraid for her. I can't even lie. I think I'm more afraid of her taking the vaccine than I was her getting the virus. You know what I'm saying?
You think so?
Yeah, man. I just don't. Cause it's kind of off the subject, man. But I watched the movie, The First Purge, right?
Yeah.
Right. And it was basically for anybody who didn't watch the movie. All the Purge. I think it was a trilogy. I don't know how many Purge movies.
It's like 4 or 5 of them, John.
Okay, so it pretty much took you when the first Purge was. It was a government experiment.
Yeah.
In a rural community, pretty much in a low-income community, to have these people of color pretty much attack each other just to see. So they started the program and they started the goddamn thing. Nobody was attacking each other. Nobody, unless they had beef with each other. It didn't go up. Like the death tolls was low. The government said, "Man, it's not enough people dying." So they sent in a group of mercenaries to kill people in these neighborhoods.
A militia,
you know what I'm saying? And then they had a government official on there to say, we paid money for this program. We need to see some more death, pretty much. Like, what's going on? And she's like, well, I don't know what's going on. The person who set up the program, I don't know what's going on. So my guy, the government official says, man, we need to eliminate these people because we don't have enough money to support them to live for the most part. So they sent this militia in there to kill people of color. Just because the government said they couldn't, you know what I'm saying? So it made me think in the back of my head, like,
was this a documentary or this was a fictional film?
It's a fictional
because it wouldn't be.
It wouldn't be so. Film.
Okay, all right.
But I feel like people who make fictional films know something that we don't know a lot of times. Like
of course,
certain ones just have too much detail. You know what I'm saying?
Of course. Listen, man. Like I asked that. I know it was a fictional film. Like I was just joking, but I mean that wouldn't be so like far fetched to believe that the United States government or the government in general, would do something like that. Like it would not be the first time. Like the Tuskegee experiments. Perfect example.
Perfect example.
You look at how the FBI, conspired to, to kill and to take down the Black Panther movement. Like it's a real thing. So I could completely understand like why people would be skeptical of, these, of vaccines and medical and healthcare. I get it.
First thing.
Hey, did y'all see Judas and the Black Messiah?
No, I didn't. I haven't seen it.
Oh, we gotta watch it. Did you see what was that movie that we just watched, Greg? American Skin. Did you watch that?
I watched it.
Giddy.
Fam, yeah. I cried too. I teared up a little bit. When they were deliberating at the end, and my man was talking to the young kid.
Camera boy, yeah, the documentary guy. Oh my God.
Man, look.
He reminded me of Isaac, by the way.
Oh, yep. Yeah. So for the listeners who have not seen this film, American Scam, please go watch this film. It's about a former military veteran and who came back home and he was spending time with his son, and he finds out, and his son ends up being killed by the police during a traffic stop, and so he ends up going and taking like the police officers hostage.
Took over City Hall. Bro.
Yeah.
He took over City Hall.
He took some
bro.
police officers hostage and held his own trial for the officer. So it's a pretty solid film. So definitely check it out.
Because the officers were acquitted for shot them in the back too. They were acquitted.
Mm-hmm.
14 heroes.
So talking about like
his own hands.
Yeah, you know, y'all. What kind of do y'all have conversation like this with your kids, or you know, about surviving and or talking?
I think that's my worst fear.
Yeah,
that's my worst fear. So when I actually sat and watched the movie, it hit home for me, and I cried because I'm scared for my son. You know, when it comes to him being able to be on his own and his interaction with the police, because he understands the Martin Luther Kings, the Malcolm X, but he doesn't understand when it comes to police and dealing with police, how to act, you know? So he feels like he should be able to say what he needs to say to them, because if you're offending me, I'm going to say something back, but he does not understand how to handle the circumstance with a police officer. So we definitely had those talks because that movie definitely hit home.
Yeah.
And it's a part in that movie where, the young kid, because dad came, he said war veteran, a lot of money to get his son out of public school to a better school just to keep him out of the environment. And there's part of the film where the kid and one of his homeboys went to school. He was trying to tell him about the Constitution. Like, man, they can't talk to us about that shit. They said the Constitution.
Yeah.
Where the guy in the public school was like, hey, bro, they're not even teaching us that shit here, bro. Like, I don't even know what you're talking about. But you need to understand, when you out in the real world, the Constitution is just writing. They don't even respond to that shit. So
right.
It's a great film. Please go check that out. American Scam. Put that on y'all list to watch for sure.
It's definitely a good film. It's definitely a good film, man. Yeah.
Judas and Messiah, like the Judas and Messiah. You say it's a great film?
Please go check it out, man. I wouldn't say it's like I wouldn't say it's Malcolm X, it's Spike Lee's Malcolm X, but it's a really good film. And I think like Daniel Kaluuya's you know, his performance of Fred Hampton, and it's also a story I didn't even know, you know, it's a story of how like they used this one guy, I forget his name is William O'Neill, and they at 17 years old, they basically like put him in a situation where he became an informant for the FBI. And he
at 17?
At 17, he was 17 years old, William O'Neill. He ended up becoming an informant, and he infiltrated the Black Panther Party, you know, to get close to Fred Hampton. He ended up giving the FBI information to help them essentially assassinate Fred Hampton. And Fred Hampton, like, I think people forget, like, Fred Hampton was 21 years old when the FBI killed him. He was 21 years old, and he had major movements going on in Illinois. Like, he created the Rainbow Coalition, where like he had connected all these gangs in Chicago. Like, he was 21 years old, man, and they killed him. That's nuts. So please go check it out. The performances are good, but the stories, I think, is even better.
Hearing that, man, whenever somebody of color, young brothers too, everybody who's a young person of color will try to motivate and bring people together has gotten murdered.
Every time.
You know what I'm saying? Every single time.
Every time.
It's a reason, because if we have somebody that can get us to that promised land so we won't continue to wander, they wouldn't know what to do. Our abilities are matched. So to kill everything in our way to make sure they stay where it lost in that circle, we're going to continue to kill them.
When are we going to get tired of this shit? Like, when are we going to get tired of
It's the thing is we have to move as a collective, and everybody ain't gonna be on the same things because it's gonna be those type of people. No, I'd rather just sit back and watch. Those people that's gonna be Black Power, but then it's those people that just want to do shit and close their door. So it's like we just have to figure out a way to everybody come together.
And you know what I thought about? I think like if the Black Panthers are around right now with the ability of social media and things of that nature, it would be amazing.
But that's the reason why, because they would still be around today.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Because it wasn't necessarily that they were posed a threat to. Well, they did pose a threat to like the government because they challenged the status quo. But at the same time, like the Black Panthers, they were feeding their community, right? Like they had the breakfast program for kids.
Yeah.
They exercised their right to bear arms.
Yeah, right.
Like they were teaching their community and empowering their community. And KemberLee, you're right. Like that's what happened. Anytime like a Black person or Black people start to empower themselves to some degree, like they are absolutely killed. Like they're taken off this earth. Straight
Shut
up.
down like a dog, man. Shut down like a dog.
Like Malcolm X. I don't know if you know this fact about Malcolm X. Malcolm X was killed right in that auditorium. Did you know that they had a party planned for that afternoon?
Night, and they still went through the party.
They still had the party. He was killed in front of his wife and children on that stage in that little auditorium, and they still had the little get together that night. Isn't that wild?
Bloodstains were still in the auditorium, and they still did what they wanted to do.
They were still doing the Watusi.
They accomplished what they need to accomplish.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Nope, I ain't gonna even go there. I'm not.
Go there. We here now.
Go there. Turn up.
We here now.
You said something about Malcolm X, man. Look, it's a guy, I forgot his name. I don't know what his name is. A guy who's a nigga from Texas. He's been on YouTube lately just talking like out the side of his neck. But when it came to the Nation of Islam, he made some crazy points. So, he says, this is his words, not mine. I'm just letting y'all know. Hey, I ain't saying this. Dang. He's pretty much like, well, y'all talk about the Nation of Islam and all this shit, but when y'all had a brother who was actually trying to better the world, y'all sent y'all henchmen in there to kill him.
Mm-hmm.
He says, Farrakhan, yeah, he could talk a good game, but you're still riding with the same team of people who killed one of the most powerful speaking, one of the most motivative people in American history. Y'all were behind that to shut him up. Why would you try to shut up a mouth or a soul who was trying to better people? That doesn't make sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
What it was is the fact that by Malcolm doing what he was doing, they didn't want him to maneuver how he maneuvered. They wanted him to follow their plan and speak that out to the world. They didn't want him to speak the truth that he had to say. And because he could not follow what they wanted him to follow or speak on what he wanted him to speak on, they killed him. Because that's not what they was meant to be.
So will we put them in the same category as people that we don't need to fuck with like everybody else?
So
you feel me?
I watched they got a docu-series on Netflix about, it's called like Killing Malcolm X or the assassination of Malcolm X or whatever. And essentially it was just some dude from Harlem that killed him, like just some regular dude. But so this is why I'm like all about, I'm not necessarily about the conspiracy theories, but I'm thinking about like, government conspiracies to kill, Black leaders. Because when you think about when these folks got killed, it may all make sense. So like Martin Luther King was killed not necessarily when he was doing the March on Washington, but when he did the Poor People's Movement. And the Poor People's Movement was about like not just black folks, it was like black and white folks. We need to have some economic empowerment. And around that time, that's when they took him out. Malcolm X got killed shortly after he came back from Mecca, and he was like, listen,
a whole different picture of life.
Exactly. Like it wasn't just about black people. It was like, listen, I saw Muslims of all different colors, and we need to connect some way.
Yes.
You know, so when they start bringing other people together, particularly poor white folks, that's when they like, nah, we can't. You know, we got to get rid of this dude, man, because he uniting way too many folks right now.
And I believe that with Nipsey Hussle as well. I don't believe it was just no random killing. Don't believe it's in front of your own spot. I don't believe it. I believe it's something deeper than that, man, because he was a speaker. And once you show that you're educated and people start listening, you become a threat. And it's 2021. This ain't 1963 no more. This like 1968. Like, come on. We can we can have a voice. We are the voice, motherfuckers. Yeah. Leave us alone. Stop killing our motherfucking black leaders. I mean, I'm sick of it. It's Black History Month, and we're sick of it.
It is Black History Month.
It is Black History Month, man.
And so my question off of that is like for everybody here is like, how do we empower our community? You know, everybody in this space right now is a person of color, a black person. Like, how do we continue to empower our community so that we can continue to grow? We could grow economically, you know, and in all those different ways. So what are your thoughts?
Good question.
Me personally,
thank you.
I say, ladies and gentlemen out there, teach your children history. Watch Roots, watch Rosewood. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Go to those museums, like really, because like when I was younger, I was blessed to have family who were really in the civil rights movement. My auntie Joanne, rest her soul, she was a Black Panther. So I had no choice but to learn the culture. My key to life is for parents to do right now in today's society is teach them the culture. Teach them where it comes from. Yeah, you have some white friends. It's not a problem to have interracial friends.
Not at all.
But it's very important for them to know why we feel like that toward them. Like, you know what I'm saying, on certain issues. So
you gotta realize though, it starts in the schooling and it starts at home too, because it's what they're being taught. And I think with me, for instance, me going to Ferndale, being in the melting pot, I didn't know real Black history until I actually got into college and I took a history class about what happened. And it blew my mind because it was, why aren't you teaching us that? But it's a reason why they don't want to teach us that growing up, because if we do that, then our mindset is different. So certain things that we allow in the system today wouldn't work because you lying, you know?
Yeah, so I see why you popped that question. She over here talking that shit.
You see what I'm talking about?
No, but you're absolutely right. Like, same thing for me. I didn't learn about, you know, I didn't really learn about like the like the slave trade. I didn't learn about even, you know, Black folks who have been done amazing things until I got to like college, man. And that's too late. So, you know, I guess one thing is like, we got to teach our own kids because, you know, the educational system is probably not going to do it. What else though? Like,
they still making Christopher Columbus feel like he's a fucking hero.
Oh man.
Jesus Christ.
But the teacher had to ask me, you told your kids they don't celebrate Christopher Columbus Day? No, they do not.
No, they do not.
Why would they? Why would they? So it's being able to give, because a lot of us are informed. And I think if we were
He's
informed,
from Spain, though, by the way, Greg.
I said the Mayflower. That was the motherfucking boat. I said fuck his boats. All the boats.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Fuck Columbus in his boat.
Lost my train. Fuck his boat, though. Fuck his boat. No, but I think it needs to, even if we just have a typical conversations with my friend or my cousin or whatever the case may be, because we don't know what we actually were taught, you know?
Yeah.
I think it's just giving out information, but as Black people don't like to receive information because they always know I got it right. So even like now, like with the Bible and the people that are opening up their third eye and living that life, is because like the people that are the woke people, they're criticizing the people that still believe in the Bible, but they wasn't taught anything else. So instead of criticize, sit down, let's have a conversation, let's open up our minds to different things. And I think we'd be better, I guess.
Yeah.
Hashtag conversate.
That's it. And, but you also make a good point in that, Black folks are not a monolith. We're not all the same. You know what I'm saying? You're going to see Black folks who are, Christians. You're going to see Black folks who are not Christians. You're going to see Black folks who believe one thing, and you see Black folks who believe another thing. Like we're different. And so a part of it is trying to figure out, like, I guess address those differences in one way or another. But I think, again, educating our kids ourselves to make sure that they understand how brilliant Black folks have been. And we've not just been slaves, and we've not just been suffering and struggling the entire time. Like, we've been creating and inventing and breaking ground and making money. Like, we've been doing those things too.
And inventors were Black men and women. Your stoplights, you know what I'm saying? Shit like you don't even understand. Please do your research, ladies and gentlemen.
And me going through the school system I was in, white people made all of that. So
that's crazy
to even now that I sit with my children and find out certain information, because I do not know. And I have to sit and do my own research because it's certain things I just don't know. Not saying that I am somewhat to blame. Maybe I could have researched more, whatever the case may be, but this is what the system is built on, to have people like me that are not informed about what's what,
That's right.
That's understandable, man. Like, I've been blessed, man. Like, I was 9-10 years old watching old points and just seeing, like, being taught, like, bro, you are Black excellence. Like, we are the feared people. They fear us because they know if we take control, they feel as though we're going to do the same thing that they did to us to them. And that probably won't even be the case. We don't fuck with y'all like that. We don't want to fuck y'all up.
Nah.
We just want to live life and, and prosper like everybody else does.
And that's always been the case. Anytime Black folks or any people of color have acquired economic freedom or developed economic growth, we've always just been like, all right, we just gonna do our thing over here, i.e., Tulsa, Oklahoma, Greenwood, Black Wall Street.
Black Wall Street.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we've been like, all right, listen, we gonna just develop and grow, and we're gonna do our own thing. HBCUs, we do that all the time. We don't care. Like, y'all relax over there.
Leave us alone. Let us live. Shit.
So to the host, because I've had conversations with people lately about it. How do you feel if we were still segregated? How do you think life will be?
So segregation is, let me answer it like this. Segregation wasn't about us getting together with different races and singing Kumbaya. Segregation was about Black folks receiving the same opportunities and access to education, because at the time, the reason why we were fighting so hard is because the Black folks were in these one house, these school houses that didn't have air or didn't have heat or you know what I'm saying? Like, they were in buildings falling apart. They didn't have books. They didn't have the resources to educate at the same level that other folks were doing. So that's what segregation was about. It wasn't about just getting together and singing Kumbaya. It was like, we want the same access that y'all are having. You know what I'm saying? Because we were still teaching our kids before, like in the 60s, prior to the 70s, like, our kids' literacy rates were as high as they've ever been. You know what I'm saying? Kids were still learning how to read. Kids were still learning math and all those other things. But then we integrated, but white folks still found a way to, like, kind of to not educate us and not to put us in special education classes or not teach us and all that. So that's my answer to your question.
Hey, man, I'm sick of it. I'm just sick of it. Great people, and I just, like, even yesterday, man, on our last day, it was some real kind-hearted white people who I really will miss. You know what I'm saying? They were looking out for me in my, you know what I'm saying? They tried to better me in certain areas that I didn't know.
Right,
And
right.
it's just like so much. It can be so much good done together. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
We are not the enemy. You know? We are
Absolutely
not the enemy, bro, at all. Shit. Stop fucking with us, please. Shit. Let us live.
That's what it is, man. Once poor white folks understand that their struggle is very similar to the struggle of black folks in this country, like it's gonna be that unity right there is gonna be a problem for the system ultimately, because it's just we have a lot more in common than we think we do.
But they still have that right privilege, though. So
you're right about that as well.
That is never going anywhere.
They're never going away.
And that's the I guess that's the boundary, or that's the challenge of getting together, because they can still say, like, I'm, this is the way I look. I'm white, and I'm still be considered over this job than you are, because your name is KemberLee, but it's spelled this way, right? You know what I mean? Like that's the type of shit.
Too many E's.
It's too many E's. It's too many big L's. Like it's too much.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Hey, man. America, can we just get better, man? Can we get better? Jesus Christ. As far as black people, women rights.
Oof.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
That was tough.
We just gotta get better, man.
Being a black woman in my position.
Ooh, I can't even imagine. All
I can say is this, man.
Jeez.
Kamala Harris, thank you for being that first black woman in that office. Now, they can't deny us for shit. They can try. Like, they can feel like, well, Obama was an accident. He got 2 terms. He never was impeached. Never did none of that shit. Now y'all got a woman vice president who slide in, Biden old ass. Knock on wood, he stays around. But
I mean, even if he does, that means she becomes president. So I can't even
exactly. So,
but let me ask KemberLee, as a first black woman committee woman, and at Romulus, and being a black leader, what were some of those challenges? Did you face any challenges or pushback because of how you present?
Yeah, for sure. So I felt I had to carry myself in a certain manner because 1, I'm a woman, 2, I'm black. And the people that I deal with were either older black men or older black white men. So it's always been hard because I've always had to work a little extra harder than everybody else. Just to make sure that I had certain things behind me. So when I address certain things, you can't take that away from me because I did what I needed to do to get where I was at. So it was hard because it would be sometimes to where I had to cuss people out or do certain things like, no, this is how you're going to address me because I feel like you're disrespecting me, that type of thing. But I have to work a lot harder to prove a point than what the guy next to me would have to.
Yeah.
A better job than most dudes would in her position, because dudes go off emotion.
And a lot of times you can't do that, especially with dealing with white people. I'm sorry to say, white people, you cannot, because what they look at me as the angry black woman. So I have to address them in a certain type of manner or light, because the first thing you think I'm going to do is I'm going to cut your ass out. No, I'm going to have a conversation in the same tone, same manner, but you're going to respect me in my position. You know what I'm saying? So that was the hard thing, because everybody looked at me like, okay, if Kim got mad or she entered into a situation to where it was going to be combative, or I wasn't going to agree with what they had to say, or I had to present something, that I was going to come across angry. So to change that narrative, it takes a lot, because I want to cut you the fuck out, but I can prove a point.
Yeah.
Big facts.
It's true. It's very true.
Please change the narrative, America. Please change the narrative.
But that's unfortunate, man. Like that black leaders or folks who are in management and supervisory positions, that we have to, you gotta monitor and you gotta filter so much, and you gotta be so cognizant of like how you present, because you are a black person, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just show up any kind of way. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I show up with a tie or a shirt and tie every day so that people can recognize me as assistant principal, you know what I'm saying, or administrator. Because otherwise people will be like, oh, was you a coach? Like, and I say that because that's a true story. Like, somebody
that's a real fact. That's a real fact.
I usually never tell people what I do in schools. I say I work in the schools, and people were like, oh, what do you coach? Like, I guess I gotta coach. I guess that's what I gotta do. But you know, if I don't look a certain way, if I don't speak a certain way, then people will make assumptions about who I am and what I do. And so that's the unfortunate part about, you know, that life about being a black person in this shit, man.
It sucks. It's tough, man. It's tough and it's scary at the same time. Because you might just be an innocent bystander, especially young kids. I'm glad I was taught how to talk. Like I said, we were going back to our previous conversation. I'm glad I was taught the way I was taught, because dealing with police and dealing with different varieties of people, I know how to act accordingly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's unfortunate. I should be able to act how I want to act, you know, just be normal all the time, but I can't because of my skin color. And
yeah. That's every black person's superpower right there. We're chameleons. You know, you walk into a job interview, we know how to switch it up. We walk into a party with our friends, we know how to switch it up. We know how to, like, you know, police show up, we know how to switch it up. Like, that's our superpower, man. You know what I'm saying?
I even gave my kids names to have a certain type of name to where they went into the interview. I didn't know if they was gonna be black or white. And
that's the crazy part. We have to do that.
Well, your kids kind of do already have like white people names.
Yeah, they do. And that's why, you know.
But that's unfortunate.
It's unfortunate as hell. We gotta do that.
That's unfortunate. What my mind, when I was pregnant with them, that was my mind frame. Like, I need them to go through life and not have certain issues. So if you look at an
that they won't get stereotyped on.
Skylar more. You see Shane more.
Listen, listeners, if you don't understand how racism works, please, you just hear that right now, because my sister and I, my name is Ryan. My sister's name is Erin, Erin, right? Both like Irish, Scottish names or whatever. And I talked to my mom, I'm like, why did you name us these names? And she said, because it's gonna show up good on a job resume. It's gonna show, like, when people see or hear your name, they won't make any assumptions about your name. Like, and it's so sad that we got to make decisions like that because we got to just survive. You feel me?
Like, what if I wanted to name my daughter Moesha? Damn it, you know, she's a 4.0 student. I might be a rocket scientist, and she's not gonna even get looked at because of her name.
Because her name is Moesha. That's a great show in the 90s. Fantastic. Mo to the E to the
man.
Moesha.
Yeah, and I took that. I did the same thing, man. Then me and Mia's mom, we had to do the same thing. Like, well, we have to make sure her name looks good on a resume.
Mm-hmm.
Or a college application.
And if it doesn't, then she's gonna be shit on luck, man. Yeah, you know, whatever the case may be. That's insane. It's insane, man.
Yeah.
I know some Keishas who, you know, I know the Keishas who can't get no job. I know people like that. Like,
we got a supervisor at our old plant will not go by her first name because it's so ghetto. So she has everybody call her Nolan.
There are, you know, I've worked in the school system for a while now, and like, there are students, you know, a lot of times immigrant students who will come in, you know, they have largely Hispanic and Latinx names. You know, they will change their first names so it sounds more, you know, more Americanized, right? So it could be, you know, Jose, but they call themselves Joseph. You know what I'm saying? And so again, these are decisions that like families shouldn't have to make. They should be able to like go by their name and still connect to their heritage and culture without being judged and being oppressed based on it, you know.
And it's like, what is actually American based? Because this country is built off immigrants. It's like, you know,
white male Anglo-Saxon expectations. That's all it is, man. That's all it. White male Christian. You know what I mean? Like that is the foundation, and that's the expectations.
We gotta do better. We're in a new decade, man. We're in a new century. I'm sorry, we're in a new century.
By it being taught from the home, generations teach these children the same things.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get the first time I got called a nigger was by a white man. Me and my kids were walking to Dairy Queen, and a white man was riding down the street, and he called me a nigger. And my kids were 5 at the time, so they like, why is he calling you that name?
Mm-hmm.
But that shit is taught, and it's continued to be taught that we are lower than what they are. Our standard core is down here, and theirs is up here. That's what it is. They're alpha, and we're just on here.
Can we get a boo for a white dude riding down the street and roll the window
Oh.
down?
Definitely.
Woman with kids,
yes.
nigga, really? Hey,
With
fuck you,
5-year-old
buddy.
kids.
Fuck
yeah.
you.
Well, I say this all the time.
Kids heard them.
Yeah, I say this all the time. Like, usually you see instances like that where somebody who is extremely racist against Black folks or people of color, they will target those they feel like they can target, because they ain't showing up on the east side of Detroit with their Confederate flags talking about make America. They're not doing it. They're not going to the south side of Chicago. They're not doing that. Come on.
And they're going to Inglewood, California.
All right, they're gonna find some mother by herself with her 2 kids, her 2 small children, and you know what I mean, like whatever.
Hey, nigga. Hey, you.
right, yeah, all right.
I think I'm just going to the store, bro. I'm just trying to go get something to drink, man. Why gotta be all that?
Yeah, go do that over on 7 Mile and Ryan.
Not at all. You won't cross 8 Mile whatsoever. 8 Mile? Oh, hell no.
It's not happening. So again, back to, we got to empower our own community, empower our kids, and teach our kids how to be entrepreneurs, and teach our kids about their real history.
In America, I want y'all to realize Black history is not just a month.
Mm-hmm.
Black history is America. We are it. We are here. Put this shit in the goddamn school books. Stop pump faking us, because we are fucking excellence. Okay. We can, whatever we put our mind to, no matter what obstacles you guys are trying to throw at us, we have still succeeded.
That's right.
And I want to I did a hand clap for this. I unappreciate this brother so much. LeBron James, I unappreciate you so much, bro, because you are the only person with that kind of stage coming in at a young age, and you still talk about your culture. You do it for the culture, no matter what happens, bro. I have to commend him for that. Bro.
Yeah.
Elaborate.
As far as like, because you have people like Michael Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
If Michael Jordan in the late 80s, early 90s was doing the same thing LeBron James was doing, I feel like Black people as a culture would be a step ahead.
No, I feel you. He's the only one with that level, like at that level.
On that level, right?
For sure.
The world watches him. His every move, like it did Michael Jordan.
As far as what he advocates for, is what you're saying?
Yes, as far as like, hey, I'm a Black man, respect me. You know what I'm saying? Michael Jordan used to just stay in the low key. He stayed behind the scenes. He never really did shit. You had to go Google. Well, you couldn't Google him nothing like that. He wasn't really a freedom fighter like LeBron is.
Yeah.
That's why I commend that brother right there.
Gotcha. Okay.
But definitely still commend like the Malcolm Jenkinses, the Kaepernicks, and Naomi Osaka's, like everybody who's still at that level or still at a professional level and doing social justice work and still representing and stuff like that. Shout out to those folks, because we need to keep it up at the forefront, because if we don't talk about it, then folks gonna act like it didn't happen. Folks gonna act like
they will try to make something fucked up for him. Like they will try to fuck his whole image up. Like they tried a few times.
Of course.
Like the dude banging his mama. And you know what I'm saying? Just this random. They was trying their hardest to bring this man down, bro, throughout his career. Oh, he can't win for shit. Shouldn't follow him.
They gonna throw everything at you. They gonna throw everything because they want you to bite, and a lot of times people bite on what they send to you.
Yes.
So,
exactly. So, but that's what I always say. Like, sports and politics and sports and social justice has always been connected, because at the end of the day, like, you can't play with Black players and value their abilities on the football and basketball court. You can't value their physical abilities, but then ignore, you know, their beliefs and ignore the struggles that they may have personally. Like, I think, you know, you can't do that. You know what I mean? You can't say, LeBron James, you're amazing on the basketball court, but like, I'm not going to pay attention to like how you feel about racial injustice. Like,
I agree.
Do that.
I agree, man. That's real spill, man.
Yeah.
I just want that guy some shout out, man, because he deserved that, man.
For sure.
Definitely shout out. Because his career is coming to an end soon, and I don't see another NBA player right now on today's stage who I can say, well, you know what I'm saying, fill his shoes as far as the NBA goes right now. I'm not saying they won't step up, but too many haven't. So I commend that brother for that, man. It's real dope. For sure. Especially on Black History Month, man.
Yeah, it is Black History Month, man. I think this was good talk, good conversation.
And make sure you guys go to livequalityminutes.com.
Yes.
Pick up your Black History Month tee. Mm-hmm. Do it for the culture. For the brand that supports you. Livequalityminutes.com. Right below. Y'all see the link. Y'all know what time it is.
It's there. And so we didn't chop it up. We didn't have some good convo here, man. What time is it? We've been going in for a minute.
Yes, we have.
So quality music recommendations. We always end with quality music recommendations. KemberLee, we're gonna let you start. Do you have any quality music recommendations for the folks? What are you listening to that you just vibing to that you want to recommend for folks?
Kelly Price, He Proposed.
Kelly Price, I've never actually even heard that song.
So when you get off, you gotta definitely listen to it because I cried like a baby. And now that I hear it now, every time I hear it, I cry. So
yeah, that's how you make memories right there. That's yep. Flex on
them. We'll talk about quality music selections. Look, ladies and gentlemen.
Stop acting like you got to think about it. Come on.
No, I know. No, cause I would. Big brother. I can't forget about
Big Shiesty. Yeah.
No, but I'm not going there with this one.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm recommending underground rap. All underground rappers, man. The ones who coming up and trying to make themselves. This is who I am. My quality is all those niggas that y'all not listening to. Please go. The Benny the Butchers, the Ransoms, the fucking West Side Guns, the fucking Ransom is a problem. Okay, this guy Ransom is a problem. Please go check into Ransom. Moneybagg Yo is having a hell of a stretch too.
Mm-hmm.
I like Moneybagg Yo.
He's having a hell of a stretch. That's mine, man. That's just all the underground Moneybagg Yo. Just go check in all of that, man.
My man Ransom said, y'all getting raised by IG. I got raised by the OGs.
Like, come on, man.
Listen, man. I gotta go off that, man. For the last week and a half, 2 weeks, I've been listening to Ransom, and this brother has been he has been rapping his ass off, man. He says you keep gambling with your mics, don't end up like James Jordan. When he said that, I'm like, you know what?
That's Jordan's daddy, for those who don't know that.
Yeah, that is Michael Jordan's dad, who was killed in the 90s
for gambling.
Allegedly because of a gambling debt that Michael Jordan had. But anyway, yeah, Ransom. Ransom has a bunch of joints right now, a bunch of EPs called, what is it? Director's Cut?
He said I put 30 in his chest with the Falcon. I do these rookies girly. You understand me? That's where he's going with it, ladies and gentlemen. Girly? Hot girl. Yo, make me throw these damn headphones off my head.
No, you're not.
Ransom,
said,
I'm sick of it.
He said, you think you going to have that power for life until that 50 show? What? To that 50 show? Those are both 50 Cent shows. Power
talk
for
to
life.
manners, Kimberly. Kimberly, if you
Yeah,
don't know,
because I'm listening to what y'all say in the bars. I'm like, damn.
my man's, my man's he different, bro.
He is very different. He's very different.
So our next show, hold on, it's on what, the 3rd?
I don't have a schedule up right now, but I think it's the 6th.
Okay. Oh, that's the Marv show.
Yeah, I think that's the Marv show.
Well, hopefully one day I could come back because I definitely enjoyed this time talking and
you can definitely come back.
You know.
And you know what we're gonna do next time we have you here? We're gonna invite Mrs. Williams on here as well.
Bingo.
You talking about my mama or my wife?
Wife.
Wife.
Oh yeah, we can do that. We can do that.
We're gonna do a couples collabo. Quality couple collabo.
For sure. We could talk a little bit about wedding planning and all that jazz.
I can't wait to meet Miss Williams.
Okay, all right.
I've been waiting on it.
Definitely, but we got to plan a trip. Like we got to get out here, man.
That cabin trip might be that thing though.
We got to talk more seriously about hitting the cabin right now because I want to leave this place. I want to kick it. What, you know what I'm saying? I want to leave this place. I want to see y'all in person. I want to kick it for real,
bro.
Listen to some good music, man. Kick it with the family. So that's what I'm looking forward to. So appreciate y'all, man. Go livequalityminutes.com. 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 Go shop.
Quality Minutes Podcast on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, Anchor. Happy. All the previous episodes, all on this.